I wasn't supposed to see those messages. That's what keeps replaying in my head. Not the screaming, not my mother crying, not my sister begging me to delete everything. Just one notification, one stupid notification. And the moment I looked at her iPad, my entire life shattered. It happened on a random Tuesday. My sister Ava had come over uninvited, which wasn't unusual. Ava only showed up when she needed something. Money, babysitting, car repairs, a place to cry after another failed relationship. And somehow, I always said yes because that's what I'd been trained to do. I was the responsible one, the reliable one, the fixer. My parents called me the mature child. Ava, she was the golden child. Always. When she crashed Dad's car at 16, she's just young. When she dropped out of college after burning through my parents' savings, she's finding herself. When she stole my laptop and sold it years ago, she was under stress. Everything had an excuse. Meanwhile, if I got a B in school, my parents acted like I ruined the family legacy, and somehow I still kept helping them because I thought family mattered. I was wrong. That Tuesday, Ava barged into my apartment carrying shopping bags. "Can you watch Liam for an hour?" I stared at her toddler, then at her. "I have work. It'll only be an hour." "It's always only an hour." She rolled her eyes. "God, why are you always dramatic?" Before I could answer, she dumped her kid on my couch, then rushed out. Her iPad stayed on my kitchen counter. I ignored it for almost 20 minutes. Then it buzzed once, twice, 3 times. I looked over. The screen lit up, and I saw the group chat name, Operation Idiot. I froze. I actually laughed at first because what kind of sick joke was that? Then another message popped up. "Mom, did he agree to babysit?" "Dad, of course he did. He always does." "Ava, our useful idiot, never says no." My body went cold. I grabbed the iPad. My hands were shaking so badly I almost dropped it. And then I opened the chat. I wish I hadn't, but I did. And what I found made me physically sick. Months, years, hundreds of messages about me, using me, mocking me, manipulating me. "Mom, tell him I can't pay my mortgage." "Dad, make sure he doesn't ask questions." "Ava, he paid Liam's daycare again." "Mom, he really thinks we appreciate him." Then I found the message that changed everything. Dad wrote, "Don't tell him about Grandma's inheritance until the house transfer is complete." I stopped breathing. Grandma's inheritance? What inheritance? My grandmother died 8 months earlier. I was told she left everything to charity. That's what my parents told me. I kept scrolling, then I found documents, screenshots, lawyer emails, property papers. Grandma had left me half her estate, half, and my parents were hiding it. Worse, they were trying to transfer assets before I found out. And Ava knew, everyone knew, except me. Then another message appeared. "Ava, he's too stupid to hire a lawyer." That one broke something inside me. I spent years helping these people, paid medical bills, covered rent, bought groceries, paid for family vacations I wasn't even invited to. And this is what I was to them? A useful idiot? I wanted to call them immediately, scream, cry, destroy everything. But then I saw another message come in. "Dad, dinner Sunday. We'll ask him for the business loan then." I stared at that message. Then I smiled because for the first time in my life, I stopped reacting emotionally and started planning. Sunday came. I arrived smiling. Everyone was there. Mom, Dad, Ava, her husband, even extended family. That immediately felt strange. Then Dad stood up, fake emotional voice. "You know the family business is struggling?" There it was. I stayed quiet. Mom grabbed my hand. "We just need $80,000. I nearly laughed. 80,000. Dad leaned forward. "Your family," Ava added. "You always help." There it was again. Always. I looked around the table. Every single person expected me to say yes, like I always had. Instead, I said, "Sure." Their faces lit up. Then I added, "But first," I connected my phone to their smart TV. Dad frowned. "What are you doing?" I smiled. showing everyone something. Then I opened screenshots. The group chat exploded across the television. Silence, pure silence. Then panic. Mom stood up. Turn that off. Ava lunged toward me. Dad started yelling, but it was too late. Every relative saw everything. The mocking, the lies, the inheritance theft, the manipulation. Then I played voicemail recordings. My father secretly discussing forged signatures. My mother planning fake emergencies. Ava laughing about draining my savings. My aunt looked horrified. What is this? Then I dropped the final bomb. I pulled out legal documents. Grandma left me half her estate. Everyone gasped. Dad turned pale. Mom nearly collapsed. Ava screamed, "You ruined everything!" I looked at her. "No," I said calmly. "You did." Then my grandmother's attorney walked in. Yes, I invited him. Dad looked like he might faint. The attorney explained everything: fraud, asset concealment, forgery investigations, potential criminal charges. The room exploded. Relatives turned on my parents instantly. My uncle screamed at my father. Ava burst into tears. Mom begged me not to press charges. And then something incredible happened. My father dropped to his knees. The same man who spent decades humiliating me, begging, crying, saying, "We're family." That phrase meant nothing now. I leaned down and whispered, "Family doesn't build group chats to destroy each other." Then I walked out. But karma wasn't finished. Over the next 6 months, my parents lost the business. Ava's husband divorced her after discovering her hidden debts. Several relatives cut them off. Criminal investigations started. Assets were frozen. And me? I got my inheritance, sold my old apartment, moved across the country, started my own company. And for the first time in my life, I felt free. Then one final message arrived. From Ava, 3 words. "Please help us." I stared at it, then blocked her because they spent years calling me their useful idiot. Funny, I was the one holding the final screenshot, and they never saw it ever been betrayed by family. Comment karma below. And if you think they got exactly what they deserved, subscribe for more insane family revenge stories.